Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network and another episode of Degen Power Hour. We'll be covering DFS, Underdog Dailies, NFL bets for Thursday Night Football in just 1 minute. That's right. We are back for the Degen Power Hour covering DFS, NFL bets, Underdog Dailies, all the good things. Steve, how are you doing today?
Doing good. Excited for the start of week 8, by apocalypse or quarterback out apocalypse, however you want to call it. Tonight we should have an interesting game with Chargers Vikings. JJ McCarthy still being out, that being one of those quarterbacks that are missing for our best ball teams, but should be a good game and looking forward to it.
I was going to say, talk 1 more minute about any week 8 stuff. I'm going to tweet that we are live.
Yeah. So, I mentioned this on the show the other day that I did that. Not only do we have the bye apocalypse, the 6 teams on bye, but we have a lot of quarterback injuries. JJ McCarthy still have Jaden Daniels out, Bryce Young, Joe Burrow. So that's 10 teams. We probably have Justin Fields being benched, though who knows what's going on. That sounds like a mess with Tyrod banged up. We still aren't sure about Purdy. It sounds like Penix will play, and probably Lamar plays, but that's a lot of quarterbacks. And then when you also factor in the 2 teams, the Browns and the Saints, their quarterback wasn't drafted at all. So in terms of our best ball shares, our various best ball teams, there's a lot of people who only have 1 quarterback or no quarterbacks this week, just how it works out. So I think this is a week that's going to have a lot of shift in teams that are advancing or really tightening the gap, even if you have a big advantage, but you're down a quarterback and probably other key pieces, like it could really shift things around. So I think checking in after this week, next Tuesday especially, is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, no, I think you covered it perfectly. And the bipocalypse and meets quarterback, a quarterback apocalypse. It's pretty wild stuff. So this week is going to be very interesting. The best ball streets. Of course, we covered kind of some bag checks portfolio looking on Monday. But yeah, Steve and I are definitely sweating out some season-long stuff in the marathon, underdog, and drafters streets. So hopefully it kicks off well tonight. Let's say hi to chat, and then we'll get into the DFS streets. We got our guy Who Hames in here. Good to see you. Tim D, not a lot of gambling news today. Who's Chauncey Billups? Yeah, wild stuff in the NBA streets. Wild stuff. Absolutely. I was such a nice sister that I got my brother a gift of to come visit me more often in Baltimore of a Ethernet cord. So hopefully internet's better today for Steve. And let's get over to the DFS streets, Steve. So I'm going to bring over DraftKings. Why don't you kind of talk about, again, we did kind of an early look on Monday. Thursday, we do more like lineup building. Saturday morning is your article on Substack and our video on Substack going over kind of like top plays at each position. But why don't you kind of talk about the slate dynamics this week for week 8?
Yeah, so week 8, it comes down to, do you go with the chalk running backs or not? Bijan Robinson and Jonathan Taylor, 2 of the best backs in the league, also happen to have 2 of the best easy matchups in the league. And it sets up for just absolute smash plays for both of them. And I think, can you get both in? Yeah, there are ways to do that. And if not, you probably need the right one. You need, if one ends up with a better day than the other, you kind of need to have that guy. There's other ways to build. Jamar Chase, particularly if Sauce Gardner is out, is very interesting. And, you could, go a tier below at both running back and receiver and try and get it, maybe 3 of those guys instead. But the way I look at it is the two running backs just had the best matchup possible. And then the top receivers on paper have tough matchups, but like I said, Sauce Gardner is probably out for the Jets, making Chase's matchup quite a bit better. And CeeDee Lamb's played 3 games. He has 300-yard games.
Yeah.
Do we really fade him with the Surtain matchup with the way Dak is cooking? That's a tough call and not an easy one to make, and why I think I still want some Lamb teams regardless of the matchup.
Do you, with Surtain, do you have any tendency then to maybe go like a Dak stack, or like Dak Pickens or Dak Ferguson, or leave out Lamb? Or like you said, it's really hard because the 3 games he's played, he's gotten 100 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen that Pickens is fully capable of operating and dominating. He could have had a monster game against Washington as well. The Cowboys stopped throwing. He still had 70 yards. He had multiple big downfield catches. He was, and there were a couple others that were close. Ferg in that game had 2 touchdowns. And, Ferguson's going to get a lot of targets. Again, they stopped throwing. He still had 7 targets, 2 touchdowns. He's not going to get a lot of yards. He's only had kind of like 1 game where he's really gotten yards. So I don't mind going to them. And I probably will have more of them than Lamb, but it is hard to get away from Lamb when we just know his upside is so high in any given week. And if they find a way to scheme him away from Surtain a bit more, and here's the thing, the Broncos might look at it as just, hey, Surtain, Lamb and Pickens are pretty close. Like, we want to take one away on certain styles, certain types of plays. So I think it's going to be a chess game for sure between the Cowboys offense and Broncos defense. So Hugh Hames mentioned this at the bottom here. Surtain doesn't typically travel in the slot, and,
Right.
and Lamb, they will deploy him in the slot a lot. So I think it's possible, but I wonder if the Broncos look at it, we're just going to take Lamb out and try and force it to be Pickens. But I don't know. They could also see these 2 receivers are so close. Like, we'll just have Surtain locking down one, whoever is most advantageous for the situation, and try and stop the other one another way. So it's definitely tough. I'm not too worried about the Broncos defense in general. We just saw them give up 30-something points to the Giants. Mm-hmm. We saw them give up points to the Colts earlier this year. Like, their defense has not been as shut down as we necessarily expected. Sure, against bad teams, Jake Browning or Justin Fields, they've been able to shut them down. But against better teams, I don't think it's a complete shutdown spot.
Yeah, no, and a great point by Hugh Hames here. Then we got Mike Rob in the chat saying, let's go best sibling duo since sister. I was going to say, you got the Kelsey brothers, the St. Brown brothers, all these siblings. I see the Carr brothers, they are now doing podcasts. All these siblings are podcasting together. What's better than, like a good old sibling showdown though, here on the Fanspeak Network. Appreciate you. And as you're coming in, hit that like button. We certainly appreciate it. If you're watching over on Twitter, join us here in the YouTube streets. Leave some comments like Mike, Hugh Hames, Tim, D, and everybody here. We certainly appreciate that as well. And if you're not subscribed yet to the Fanspeak Network, we have shows for DFS, NFL betting, Underdog Dailies every single weekday, sometimes multiple each day. So definitely make sure you're subscribed, notifications on. And finally, link in the description for our Discord. As you can see, the banner at the top, which I do need to adjust when we're both on here. But as you can see, if you checked out our Substack, link it in the description. It's just $34.99 for a year. It has you covered for bets, Underdog Dailies, and DFS. We send you something every single day. It's already sent our TNF bets and same game parlays already today. So be sure to check that out. Okay, now Steve, let's get back to it. Let's do some lineup building that will kind of help us build, because like you said, I think this slate, more than maybe not any week so far, but feels like this slate feels like these lineup building decisions. Yeah, I love Chase. I love Lamb. I love, Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey. Well, guess what? You can probably only play 2. So how do you make that work? Where what lineup considerations do you give? And honestly, if you do like a Jonathan Taylor, Bijan, it's really hard to do like a real stack, like to do like a Dak or Lamb or a Baker and Buka, that kind of stuff is really tough. So then do you do the double tight end thing, which by the way was in the Millie Maker lineup last week, which it wasn't us, but it was a double tight end, which we talked about all last week here. So that's why we make lineup decisions here. So, and talk through lineup construction. So again, our player takes will all be on the Saturday show, Steve's Saturday article. Look for that as far as who's in our player pool. But, some guys I'm considering that are cheaper are like a Joe Flacco with either Chase or Higgins. You could kind of go down to Bo Nix and do it naked or one of his, receivers. So where do you want to go start with quarterback stack, Steve, and then kind of do some different lineup constructions?
Yeah, I will say my favorite quarterback on the slate is Hurts, but also that might change with AJ Brown being out. I like him most with Devonta, but losing AJ Brown does kind of change that dynamic a little bit. So I will say let's start here. Let's go with what you said, Flacco. I think that's an interesting way to attack this slate.
Yeah, and then I think it becomes, do you want to do like a Flacco Chase, a Flacco double stack, a Flacco Higgins? If you do Flacco Higgins, you definitely, and I know this because it's my shell lineup, that you can definitely do like a Bijan Jonathan Taylor. If you do Flacco Chase, that's going to be nearly impossible, and you're going to probably have to do more like a Bijan Henry as like your two running backs and go from there. So where did you want to take it from there?
Let's start with Flacco Higgins.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good story.
I like Chase. Higgins' price, I think, is underpriced given that Flacco's back. He was close to 100 yards last week. He got the touchdown. Yes, he had less than half the targets of Chase, but I think there's going to be weeks where it's much closer in targets, and this could be one of them. And as much as I love Chase, I will point out, last week, for as amazing as that game that Chase had Thursday night in full point PPR, and obviously half as well, but in full point PPR, Christian McCaffrey actually outscored him with the game that he had Sunday night. So, if Bijan does something like that, he can still be outscored even with one of the most ridiculous targets shares we've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So, well, that leads me to my next question. I was on the CBS show this morning and, Sia Najad, the host, asked me to rank Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, Christian McCaffrey. And I ranked it Bijan, price considered Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey this week. This is a big, and again, player takes stuff again, Saturday morning on here on the YouTube and Substack. But how would you rank them price considered Bijan, JT, CMC?
Yeah, I'd rank them the same way. I mean, Bijan having JT has both price considered and even non-price considered, even if they were all the exact same price, I would rank it that way. Bijan has basically as good of a passing role that CMC has, and still an incredible rushing role. And CMC just has such a tough matchup. Like, can he still get 20 points? Absolutely. But I just think it's going to be much tougher for him to get that, extremely high 20 points or even in the 30s, which probably, given the matchups, at least one of JT or Bijan just feel primed to do this week, a 30-plus game. So, I'm going to go Bijan and JT over McCaffrey.
Okay. Yeah, that's how I had it ranked, Bijan, JT, McCaffrey as well. In this very matchup against the Titans, he's had 3 hat tricks, but his first hat trick came against the Titans, week 3, 35 DK points. So why don't we put in Bijan, Jonathan Taylor? So you're left Flacco, Higgins stack, Bijan, Jonathan Taylor. Let's throw in, what's your favorite cheap defense? I know that's tough this week. You could go as high, even if you want to go the Ravens, I guess we could do that.
I will say the Ravens. I have some questions about Caleb Williams, and I think the Ravens coming off a bye should be healthier, have had time for game plan. And let's be honest, the Ravens are essentially in playoff mode.
Yeah.
They cannot afford losses at this point, especially to a team, like the Bears, who sure is up and coming, but nowhere near top tier and at home. Like,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Agree. So tight end, we're definitely gonna have to go cheap here. What do you, you could double stack with Fant. You could do, like a Mason Taylor, Kate Otten, Dalton Schultz. Where do you want to
Yeah.
go
Well,
here?
one thing to note, I saw Mason Taylor was limited at practice. I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
staying away entirely from the Jets at this point.
Yeah.
So give
Yeah.
me Kate Otten. We've
Yeah.
seen historically when Evans and Godwin are out. We saw last week, last 2 weeks, honestly, with these wide receiver injuries. His role is just bigger, and Baker seems to trust him.
Okay, let me get to the chat real quick. Yes, I must have said doo-doo at some point. Yes, Tim, a good point. National Tight End Week. We will definitely have some special tight end parlays this week for sure. Got to celebrate the holiday in style. And I didn't remember this, that Pitts went off last National Tight End Week. And CMC score, well, didn't F me in my in my best ball. I was very happy for CMC. So hopefully CMC, JT, Bijan is in your drafters. So go all of them is what I'm here to say. And then we got our guy Chad Candles in here. GM, good to see you. Appreciate everybody joining us in chat, hitting that like button as they come in. Okay, so that leaves us with 4.8K. If you start Flacco, Higgins stack, K. Otten, cheap tight end, Ravens defense, Bijan, JT, just team jam them in. I talked about this. I was on the Fantasy Point show with Neil Warfield last night on CBS Today. I talked about back in the day, 2014, 2015, after we had started playing DFS, Al Smizzle always used to say team jam them in. That was for Le'Veon Bell, David Johnson. I don't know. To me, it feels like that this week. That's how I'm handling it. But then, like you see here, you're only left with 4.8K. So how would you proceed from here?
Well, it is National Tight End Week, so let's take a shot at looking at a 2 tight end build.
All right, yeah, I think that's a fun way to approach it. So another cheap one or a mid range, or
I think we go for another cheap one, at least to save a little money. I don't mind is Mark Andrews coming back off the bye. Bears, Lamar probably not running as much, maybe getting it to Mark Andrews. But could you go to tight end?
Yes. Sorry,
a little bit. Scroll up slightly. So the first one that I will mention here, obviously it's George Kittle's day.
Yeah,
but,
it is George Kittle's day.
It is a tough matchup. So I think it's probably another week we have to wait till that really pays off. Goddard, we have to see what happens with A.J. Brown and himself.
Yeah.
But Evan Ingram, he doesn't get full usage, but he 8, 6, 6, 7 targets. Since he's gotten back from the injury, he's been involved. He's playing the Cowboys. Cowboys defense is bad. So that's one I don't mind, and to give some cheap exposure to that game. There's some other avenues to get
I was going to say, I don't
exposure.
mind like Mims if you'd rather attack it that way, but if you'd rather do this.
I like Mims. So either Evan Ingram, or if you do want to scroll down, I don't love the Fant call as much. Loveland, who he's mentioned him as well. It sounds like Komet's out.
Komet is definitely out.
I don't think it's definite, but it sounds.
What's the report today? Let's see. Non-participant in Thursday's practice. So, okay. So I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that with Loveland at 3K. That is kind of interesting in that game. I know we have Ravens defense, but I don't.
Yeah, but I still don't mind it. The Ravens defense is about getting some sacks and turnovers. Loveland,
quite honestly, whether you did want to do like a higher one, but like they're priced better than some of the receivers, towards the top of the tight end, or more like a Goddard, price, or, Pitts, Henry, Andrews. But honestly, if Mason Taylor, if there was definitely he and Tyrod were both a go, but you've got Schultz, Juwan Johnson, Noah Fant, Loveland, Otten, there's just a lot of options down here, for some kind of 2 tight end build. If you did want to go 2 tight ends, honestly, 3.6 and below, there's multiple ways you could go. So we plugged in Otten and Loveland. That leaves you with 5.7K. Boy, that feels kind of comfortable to jam in, whatever 2 tight ends you feel like, a defense that's not totally punt, the 2 main running backs that we were targeting in Bijan, JT, and still a very viable stack in Flacco and Higgins. Where would you go for just one more receiver?
There's a couple things. A couple ways you can play it. I think you could go for a cheap call, like say a Mims or Tez
Oh, like a
Johnson,
Mims.
and
Yeah.
then spend up for that last one. Or you can get two guys in that like mid-5 range.
Yeah, so if you did like Mims, Tez Johnson's 4.3, I like that a lot. Mims is 3.9. Thank you. If you threw in Mims, the cheaper one, you're left with 7.6K. I mean, so you could do a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Nico's likely out, but Mbuka, Pickens,
And you
or
could even bump up the Raven.
right.
Yeah, you could bump up the Ravens defense also.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think this gives a lot of flexibility. Let's try a version with like a Derrick Henry or something like that with a third running back. Obviously, this is one of the lowest prices we've seen Derrick Henry in years. Absolutely years. Could go Cam Scatterbo too. I'm rooting for another 3 touchdowns personally. But no, if you went Derrick Henry 6K with the Ravens defense, taking Otten out, I left Mims in, you still have 4.6K. We talked about, I mean, there's Alec Pierce, either Shepard or Tez Johnson. You wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, there are other viable. What's that?
Yeah, like I think Shaheed is viable against Tampa secondary. So no, I like this range.
Yeah, that's, and then I think if you wanted, so this just shows again all about lineup constructions and stuff, that you could even do it with 3 running backs and still make it work, in my opinion. No stud receivers, obviously. But now if you went and put back in the Loveland call and did the back to the 2 tight end thing, can you even make it work with Chase? I'm just trying to see here. I'm guessing with Loveland, if you do Otten Loveland, taking out Henry, and take out Higgins and plug back in like a Flacco Chase stack, you have 5.1K. So again, different lineup constructions that you can do with this. Did you want to do like one other stack, like with like a, I don't know, Dak Lamb or Baker and Mbuka or something like that?
Let's do Baker and Mbuka.
Okay. So I'm just going to keep the Ravens defense, keep the Mims call, keep the 2 stud running backs, because we ranked Bijan JT as the 2 that we're really wanting to jam in. So we've got, Baker and Mbuka in New Orleans, divisional game, needing a bounce back spot. Left Otten ends because it just leaves a double stack, but you could also, if you wanted to do, you could triple stack it, or you could take out Otten, put in like a Tez Johnson or something like that, and then plug in a cheap tight end. But Baker, Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Mbuka, Mims, Otten, Ravens. Now this would be very difficult. You couldn't do like the whole Henry thing, obviously. But what would you do in this situation if you wanted to do a stack like this?
I mean, I still think having a like Loveland really makes it back into the comfortable range for that last receiver.
Right. Putting that in, it gives you 5.2K. So definitely in like a viable area. I mean, I honestly don't mind like doing like a total punt defense like Panthers or something like that. They've been playing better. Like, if it's a situation where all defenses are just kind of mid and it allows you to get something more viable or something like that, I don't mind it. But yeah, I think that I don't think, is there any other, I don't really know that I feel like there's any other like running back or receiver combos with this that I'd feel comfortable with. If you wanted to do the two stud running backs, and maybe we could show like a build like this, if you wanted to pivot off one and do like a Bijan Henry, could you then do like a Rachaad White? Well, I guess Rachaad White would be then really overstacking the Bucks, but you know what I'm saying? Like a 1 stud running back, 1 stud receiver in Mbuka, and then kind of more mid-tier. Like if you approached it that way with Baker, Bijan, Henry, Mbuka, Mims, Otten, Ravens, then you have 5.8K for 2 spots. And you could do like, what's another running back you like down here, like a Kamara or Dobbins or something like that. Just throwing that in, you'd have 5.9K. Thoughts on that, Steve? I'm preferring to jam in JT and Bijan, But what are your thoughts on something like this?
Yeah, so I did want to say like 2 running backs that I like either in a 3 RB build or just replacing one and allowing you to pay up a little bit more at receiver, but not ignoring running back is Henry and Rashard White. Rashard White has had tough matchups basically every game since he's taken over. Last game was the first game he failed. So he's got a much easier matchup against the Saints, who just got destroyed by the Bears running game, which maybe is improved, but we're not exactly talking an elite unit. So I just think he's set up. I wouldn't necessarily do it with Baker. I wouldn't necessarily do it in terms of like onslaught, but like having Rashard White, he's somebody I'm going to have a good chunk of because I just think he is in a really great spot this week. And I don't think he'll get he'll get some ownership, but this kind of build, 3 running backs, Bijan, Henry, White, might not get crazy ownership.
I think that's a great point. And I just threw in like, if you didn't want to like onslaught the Bucks, and you could do like a Bo Nix, Bijan, Henry, Rashad White, and then, mix in, like you could still leave it stacked with Mims, or you could move to Sutton, or, and then you could bump down Mbuka to, maybe you're more like living in like the mid-tier receiver range, and you do like Ndunze, Sutton, and well, then you're back to that range. Never mind. But yeah, no, I mean, you could mess around with this range for sure. I mean, honestly, you could do Bo Nix naked and just say he spreads it out and gets 1 or 2 on the ground, and that's why he's optimal. So yeah, I think that the whole point about this is, like, I think a lot of people would look at the slate and say, well, it's impossible to do, Bijan and Jonathan Taylor, and you definitely have to make concessions, but I definitely going to play around with that. But I am open to like a Bijan Henry, 3 running back build as well. I think if you're playing that as Bijan and Jonathan Taylor, or Bijan and the combination of running backs you use have to do what we're projecting them to do. And then, then like the Chase, Lamb types can't absolutely smash. Any other thoughts on these different lineup constructions?
Yeah, no, I think that is key. And it's also like, like you said, like some of these either more mobile quarterbacks or just focusing on like a tight end. You could do Bo Nix with Evan Ingram. You could do, depending if you like, you could do Jackson Dart naked. Like I don't really prioritize Wan'Dale Robinson, but Jackson Dart, if he gets a rushing touchdown, if he gets 50 yards rushing, he could have 2 rushing touchdowns. I mean, and I hope not for our Scatterboo shares. But,
no, we definitely hope not for our Scatterboo shares. Exactly.
It would help your DFS shares,
Yes. No, I agree. I mean, look, I just plugged that in, and then you're up to 4.9K with that particular build. So again, these are just kind of like experiment lineup construction experiments. And again, check out the Saturday morning show. Oh God, Rudy, he did it the other day when you were in my office. He's like growling in his sleep. Was he growling the other day?
Yeah.
Okay. It scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh my God, are you okay? Anyways, sorry, that totally distracted me. But no, this is good to just talk about through lineup construction stuff, because it is these decision points and where you're allocating and spending your money. And then again, we'll have our player pools and go from there, and check out the Substack only show here on Saturday morning, and Steve's Saturday article on Substack for that player pool and kind of our players in each position. Mike does not like our call on the Ravens defense. Zach Orr and Harbaugh still aren't fired, right? He wanted Rudy to go find Harbaugh's house and scare him a little bit. He says if Lamar plays, it does feel like this is a 5-touchdown game. He throws up from time to time with 215 passing. So yeah, the reason I'm probably wasn't planning on playing Lamar is just thinking his, coming back from hamstring injury, that his rushing will be limited. But boy, if he throws a 5-touchdown game, that'll nuke that idea of, paying down for quarterback. But he liked your points. We got our guy, Go Easy Cards, Charles in here. Good afternoon. Any Leggett this week? He says, I growl in my sleep. It comes from being a Cardinals fan. That's hysterical. I totally get that. So thoughts on that, Steve? I wasn't planning it. I mean, you could certainly do a Andy Dalton Leggett, and it'd be pretty damn cheap.
Yeah, I mean, Legette's not bad. I mean, he's definitely looked much better the last couple of weeks. I do wonder, the first week back, Coker got was limited work. Then I do wonder if we'll see more. I also just think the Carolina Panthers just want to run the football.
Yeah.
And I do think, yeah, Rico still was he split work with Chuba, but he was still very efficient and very effective.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a hot hand thing and he just has another big rushing day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe if, that game turns a little bit more shootout or they're behind and by a big amount. It's just not my favorite offense to target from a volume standpoint.
Okay. Well, I think we covered DFS. Again, check out all Steve's content on Saturday here on Substack. Let's talk Underdog Battle Royale. Do you want to take us to the Battle Royale streets? Maybe we could do another Thursday draft and then head to your primetime, whatever primetime slate first, and then head to some Battle Royales if anybody wants to join us. And then, of course, we will head over to the Thursday night football props, parlays, streets. We already sent them to our Substack subs, link in the description. Check that out. And then you can link to our Discord. We want to get more people from Substack over to Discord and post to them there as well. So, all right, Steve is over to Battle Royale. You want to jump in the Thursday street the primetime streets first.
All right. Yeah, this first time in a little while we don't have the Sunday morning game.
Yeah. So just Thursday and Sunday, right?
Yeah, just a 2-game slate. All right. I will be entering in 5 seconds and in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter.
We got our guy Paul in here. Good to see Legion 13. He says a third quarter. If you want to do a third quarter, so I am like so superstitious now that we're what percent through total best ball season?
Well,
I know we're halfway through regular season.
Yeah, we're 41% through.
Yeah, we're 41% through. Paul, I can't jinx anything, so it's like I don't want to. I can't do it. I can't do it. But Steve, if you want to do it, we totally can. It's totally up to you.
No, I don't know if I'll do any third quarters. I didn't do any second quarters. It's not that I'm, I might do 1 or 2 this. I'm not even sure how filled it is.
No, if you didn't do any second quarters, don't do it. We can't jinx anything. Paul. Listen, I would love to do anything for our subs and who are watching, and we appreciate you all. But I am so superstitious now; it's so crazy. Steve, I won't use any of our guys that we have high exposure to on thumbnails. It's getting out of control. Guys, it's getting next level. It's getting okay. In chat, you put, you're craziest. Are you crazy superstitious like me, or are you? No, are you just not like that? If you are crazy superstitious, what is the craziest thing you've done?
Oh my! All right. So who do you want to take at the third spot?
Oh, okay. Oh, damn. Yeah, I got the first spot and I absolutely loved it today. I don't know, because now with Mason, but yet there is like a running back,
Cliff. Yeah.
But now with Aaron Jones likely back, is it official yet, or is it?
Yeah, they put him on the 53 man. So
shit.
You want to just take Mason?
I guess I just don't love it. I don't.
But it's like we have to have a running back, and Warren, and I think is not going to get 100 yards every game, and Vidal I have no faith in. All right,
okay.
So they went Warren, Vidal.
Wow. Okay, I'd say unless you want to go Herbert, that's the only other thing I'd say.
Let's go Herbert. I think he could separate a quarterback.
I mean, I will say I did Jacobs and a receiver, and I was able to get 3 receivers I was really happy about. And I will say, you look at each slate of these primetime slates and what is the position that you're willing to kind of, take what's left. And for me, it's tight end. Now, if someone burns you and takes multiple people take multiple tight ends, then you could be in trouble. But I'm fine with taking the waiting on tight end in this.
Yeah.
Okay. So Herbert, and who goes? Addison, Metcalf, Ladd. I'd be fine with, honestly, Keenan. So I don't care if QJ goes. I'd actually go Keenan over, but I don't know. Am I crazy? I mean,
no.
I think it's going to just oscillate week to week. I don't I don't know. You read me something from Twitter that Keenan has done historically really well
Let's
against.
double stack. Let's take Gadsden.
Let's go. Wait, we just said we were going to wait on tight end.
No, I think this is fine. There's receiver depth.
Is there enough? Okay. All right.
I like the double stack here.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we're making the bet on we're spent for Herbert.
We're making a bet on this game. Like,
yes, that is true.
If this game's not good, this lineup has no chance.
That is true. Well, where's the receiver depth? Can you point it out to me? Because,
well, I mean, like,
are you going to Christian Watson first game back here?
No. I mean, this is why you could take 2 tight ends. Like, if we end up with the second tight end, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
That's true. You're kind of like treating the double stack like Gadsden.
I don't know what to do with Aaron Jones. I'm sure he'll get played some. I mean, not for us, but I'm saying like in general, if you're doing a lot of these. So.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't make sense for us since we bet on Mason. So, I mean, do you want to just take Jonnu or take that's the problem here. See, I think.
Do you like Jonnu or Freiermuth?
I like Freiermuth, but what? Okay, so we're just scrolling down for the last pick receiver then.
Yeah.
Then who are we scrolling down for?
I mean, the Steelers use 2 tight ends. Like, we could take Jonnu.
Aren't we taking? We're taking Freiermuth right here.
You know, we could go Jalen.
No, we have 2 tight ends now. We have
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do you want to take Naylor?
I guess.
I mean,
unless you think Trey Harris.
Receiver, he got 2 targets still. I think we'll just go Naylor.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'd say. Let's do one more.
Let's do regular ones. Those are better.
I know. I just
I think it's tough this week.
Yeah. I did love my one earlier. I will say if I did it again, I do love getting Herbert, but I was able to get I had the first pick, so I was able to get Jacobs and then like 3 receivers, and then I guess it was Freiermuth, the Steelers tight end last, and I got Aaron Rodgers in the middle, and I was fine with it. Like I think I'd prefer that way if I could do it all over again. Not those exact picks, but yeah, let's go in the regular Battle Royale streets.
All right. Regular Battle Royale.
Who says he has a 4 Vikings lineup, feels dead already. All 4 Arthur Smith tight ends are live for a touchdown. That is always true for sure. AZ Card says he undrafted first quarter, second quarter, third quarter after doing a few, had to set the ranks auto. 45 minutes drafts are killing me. Those are reserved for the summers. Yeah. That is true. It's like once you go back to that during the season, it feels so different. Aaron Jones, hammy is made out of paper. You are safe. Okay, so good call there, Charles. But liked the feedback there. Yeah, let's get into the Battle Royale streets.
All right, I'm going to enter in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter.
Oh my goodness. I did that. What pick number did we get here?
It's not filled yet.
One more if anybody's interested. Well, in this one, I haven't done these yet. I mean, you're basically, well, I guess Chase and Lamb. I guess any pick, it does feel fine.
We got the 101.
Love it. Bijan.
Legion's in here.
Love it. Good to see you, Legion. That's awesome. Well, we got Crutches. That's a big name. Yeah, that's exciting to get a little Bijan share. Have you done many of these yet, or Wildcat?
I've only done a couple combined between this and the Wildcat. I've done not
Yeah.
even in a few of the other smaller ones.
Any other feeling? I mean, to me, I definitely would want one of the top 5. I mean, no offense to James Cook, but is there any other like nuances to the battle royale
Yeah.
for this
Yeah.
week?
I mean, what I would say is like quarterback, I have no problem waiting on. Running back, like kind of through Henry, I think is a first tier break, just because we just can't trust Barkley, same as Scadaboo. It's just a tough matchup. I do like Rashard White now that we got that information.
Yeah.
Like as for like our second running back, make the pick. Receiver feels kind of top heavy as well, especially if we are losing AJ Brown, which doesn't sound good. Missing practice last 2 days. Olave's banged up. So like I think this is one why I think there are some clear, Warren and Ferg are just great tight ends. I'm fine waiting at tight end. Like Kate Otten feels good, Mark Andrews, even Kyle Pitts, some of these other ones like there's just any way. So I generally want to wait at tight end. I feel like at this point,
Right.
and quarterback as well. So I kind of want my other 4 picks in the first 4 rounds.
Okay. Gotcha. Wait, did you say wait at quarterback as well?
Yeah, I mean, they're like
Yeah, no, that makes
set
sense.
up to get like not necessarily with our pick, but like a Justin Hurts, Devonta Smith, and yeah, that's interesting. But other than that, like, is there a big difference? Like, you can get Baker in the 5th round. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
true.
I'm good.
True. Yeah.
Um,
So what would you do here coming up? If Henry's there, would you take him?
I think I'd do Henry Sutton.
Okay. That works for me. Yeah, against Dallas defense. Oh yeah. All right, let's do it. I like this start. Where did our guy Scadaboo go in this one?
He's not gone yet.
Oh no, should we have taken Scadaboo?
Oh boy.
No, I do feel like maybe we finally get the Derrick Henry week. If Mike's still listening, maybe we finally get the Derrick Henry week here. So starting Bijan Henry Sutton,
Yeah.
I'm a fan. Okay, so we'll be back up at what 2 pick numbers? 20 what?
24, 25.
24, 25. I mean, if Ferguson was still there, I'd be fine with like, could you click the quarterback tab? Is it just been Lamar Allen that have gone?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if Ferguson was there, Legion was smart. He sniped Scadaboo from us last week, and then he gets Scadaboo this week. Well done, Legion. I applaud you. That's awesome. I hope he gets 3 touchdowns for you. 6 touchdowns against the Eagles this year. That would be awesome. Okay. Yeah, Ferguson's there. I would love that. He still has a good matchup this week against Denver.
Yeah.
And then you I think that could be, it's the highest. Is it currently the highest total on the slate? Oh, he goes, okay. Where do you want to go? Pickens? Or,
we can do Pickens Dak.
I'm fine with that. I mean, are you worried about Pickens being shut down by Surtain?
Not really. I mean, I like Devonta Smith a lot.
What do you want to do?
Let's do Pickens Dak.
Yeah, we already got the Sutton, like the whole game environment built out. So I believe it's the highest total on the site. And I feel like that game, we saw it with the Giants this week. Like, I feel like that game could have some.
So do you want to go Dak over Knicks?
I probably do. Even though, Knicks has the better matchup, I feel like.
Yeah, no, that's how I have it ranked.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And obviously check out Steve's rankings in the Substack, link in the description. He has his underdog rankings. He posted the other night. Huhaim said Jalen Carter is playing. Not sure Scott gets 3 TD again. I'll take 2. That's fine. All right. So tight end. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we talked about it in from the DFS standpoint. There's just a lot of spots I like. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely, like you said, comfortable taking whatever is left in the last round. Kind of mixing that up. Do you have a favorite of the last round tight end clicks?
Yeah.
You're waiting to say it?
Yeah. No, I mean Legion's in here, and he took him. He's smart. Kate Otten, that's my clear favorite.
Okay, he is smart, and he did take him. Yes, that is well done. Well done.
So I mean, we could go down to Loveland, who's not going to get 100% owned. That I think is interesting,
especially with Henry, because I really feel like my gut tells me those are the two fun, game environments on the slate that could have just a lot of points.
Goddard is falling, I think, because of this calf injury, but it does sound like Brown is way more likely to be out. So it's like,
yeah. Geez, and he had such a big game against the Giants 2 weeks ago,
Marucci left it to us. We could take Goddard.
Oh, because everybody, yeah. Okay. Your call. I'll defer to you on this one.
I'll do Goddard. I mean, if he's out, then he'll just, I'll have rankings set,
Yeah. Yeah. I really do like the
But the Loveland one's interesting.
Because the Loveland, if Komet's out, I really do like the Loveland call. And especially whether it's, these Battle Royale drafts or DFS, like, especially like if you are playing a Henry or any Ravens, I do think that's interesting.
Yeah.
2 on the ground, 2 in the air. Wild that Scatterboo futures was 3.5 for season long. Yeah, I heard, Rich Rebar, always love his content on Sharp Football Analysis. And he talked about on a show last week, like, hey, we already hit the Scatterboo season long future over. And I was like, that's so great. So yeah, Paul, we will take as many Scatterboo touchdowns as possible. I know you're a big Scatterboo bag holder as well. Let's get them as many as possible. Loveland going to end up 10% drafted at most. Yeah, that part is really interesting. Definitely could be a fun scroll down option for sure. I like our team, Steve. Dak, Bijan, Henry, Sutton, Pickens, Goddard. I like it. That was fun. Could you look at Legion's team really quick? Because he got multiple players we liked. So
yeah, he went Chase, Barkley, Scatterboo, Odunze, Otten, and Flacco.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that team a lot.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of guys I have heavy exposure to. Well, some, but no, that's a fun team, Legion. Let's do another.
All right.
Legion wants to join us again, or anybody else, you can count it down.
All right. I'm going to enter in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter.
All right. Oh, just got a okay.
So sorry for anyone who jumped in the previous one.
Anybody that wants to join us? Have you done any 12-man, Steve?
Not this week.
Okay. Do you tend to when we listen to Chad Candle's interview on Pete's show when he was on After Dark last week, which was awesome. Go check it out if you guys missed that, by the way. They were talking about the nature of the 12-mans and stuff. Yeah. And I do feel like that is interesting, leads to, a lot more strategy and stuff. Do you tend to like the 12-mans more?
I think it depends on the week. I think for me, one of the tough things, like 12-man this week, quarterbacks. I mean, are there 12 quarterbacks that we want this week?
Wow. Yeah, that's a good point.
But also a lot of times it's running backs because running backs go much earlier there, and it just thins out. And like here's the thing, like you just go down the list, like even RB 12, Breece Hall. You said it's a good matchup against Bengals. A, he's also banged up, but B, it's like the least efficient offense in the world.
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins has 0 passing role. Like, can he get 101? Sure. Chase Brown. It's just we're really, Tyler Algier is RB 20. So it's like if you're going to start 2 running backs, it's very hard.
So basically, some weeks you feel like you'd like the 12-mans, but not all weeks. This might be a week that you wouldn't. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that might be tough. if you get those first couple picks versus the back half of the board, that would be.
Well, sometimes getting the back half isn't too bad because getting that 12-13 can feel real good.
Okay. But this week wouldn't it feel tough unless you got like a fun stack or something?
Well, again, quarterbacks are going to go higher in that. So it's definitely way different. Like quarterbacks, Josh Allen's the only quarterback in the top 12 here, but you do a 12-man, I guarantee at least 2 quarterbacks are going in the first 12 picks.
Yeah.
If not 3. So probably Lamar and Hurts are all going.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's interesting. All right. So oh my gosh. Okay. Did you want to mix it up or do you want to just
let's mix it up this time? I mean, I do think they're extremely close, but as I said in my article, 1-2, I'm taking these 2 every time.
Yeah. Oh, Who Ames is in there. Good.
Yeah, we got Who Ames in this one.
Nice.
Well, unfortunately, he doesn't have the second spot because I know he'd appreciate Bijan.
Yeah, really. And then we took at the 12-13 turn, we took Henry and who?
We took Henry
Pickens, was it?
No, Henry Sutton.
Henry Sutton, that's right. Pickens fell. Yeah, I was going to say that doesn't feel right. All right, Who's got McCaffrey at 4. That's fun. I think that's fun.
Yeah, no, it's one of those, like, it's a tough matchup, but McCaffrey's usage is just off the charts. He gets, even if I don't think he's getting 100 yards rushing, nobody does against Texans, but if he gets 2 touchdowns, which he's their number 1 weapon, he could definitely still pay off.
He said Hurts goes mid to late second, or at least early in the week. So, okay. So we'll be back up at 12-13. Not sure if you want to mix it up this time or not. But
I think if we can, I mean, obviously it's a different build no matter what with JT, but
right.
We'll see what comes back to us.
Who-Hames is on the clock now. And then 12-13. Let's see. I don't know about London. I mean, I guess if we're making the bet that we didn't pick Bijan, that is interesting leverage, but I know I'd probably prefer Mbuka. I guess if they're both there, you could do both. Who-Hames gets Henry and starts CMC Henry. That is fun. I like that too. Okay, London goes. And Mbuka goes. So where do you want to go now? Do we take the following Barkley, or what do you want to do?
It's not really a fall. This is his ADP.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I kind of lean Sutton Odunze.
Yeah, let's do that. I like that. I mean, I know Ravens are getting, some people back. Who are they getting back on defense? Just so I'm 100% clear.
I'd have to look at their latest injury report, but
yeah, but they were getting some bodies back on defense.
Their corners are pretty good now.
Yeah, but I still think. Like Odunze here. I'm hoping, after 2 down weeks, we can get him going again. Mike says, does Steve believe Meg will beat Neil and avenge him? In, of course, the DFS cage match. I joined Neil and Jake Tribby on Fantasy Points cage match Wednesday night. That was a lot of fun. And I liked my lineup. I read it to you. What did you think about the lineup? Do you think I will beat Neil to avenge your loss in Best Ball Jeopardy, of course, is what Mike's referring to.
Thank you for rubbing that in. Mike was nice.
Hey, Mike's had your back. Mike's been.
No, I'm not saying Mike. I'm saying you. Mike just says, avenge me. You're like, avenge you in the Best Ball Jeopardy loss. Ouch.
That's right. It was me that reminded you of the Best Ball Jeopardy loss. But shout out to Neil, the the runner-up in our first ever Best Ball Jeopardy tournament. Sorry, Steve. Sorry. Okay. But anyways, what do you think of my lineup? And do you believe I'll beat Neil?
Back to me. Yeah, no, I think you can win that. I like what you did with that lineup.
Yeah, I did too. And thank you for joining in the chat last night, Mike. That's so fun. I just love that he was trolling Neil. He's always trolling Neil. Sweet Neil. All right. So 24-25. Oh, Cam Scatterbo goes. Damn. Damn. Okay. Because I like that start, JT, and the two receivers we picked. We already have Dunze, so I don't want to go Swift. Did you want to go Ferguson on this one since we didn't get on the last one if he comes back?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I know you talked about, waiting on tight end, and I agree with that with all the options that are left. But I do find that interesting that we did the Dak Pickens stack, but this one we could do the Sutton, Ferguson, and then
what else do you want to do here?
I mean, is there like a scroll down running back and you just want to take quarterback here, or like, maybe
really
not.
a scroll down running back. I mean, I don't mind going. We already have Chicago, so I don't think Swift. We could do. We had Sutton for Dobbins.
Yeah.
I actually like Rico.
I mean, Buffalo, you can run all over Buffalo. The problem is it's just such a split backfield now.
Yeah, I just don't know if it will stay that way.
Will Rico come back to us?
Probably.
I just feel like should we just grab Nix or Dak here?
Yeah, let's do.
You could do either
in this one.
Yeah, we did Dak Pickens. Now we can do Nick Sutton with Ferguson. I think that's fun. We kind of got same, like one of the top running backs with like a Dallas Denver stack. I like a Dunze, and then it's really just a question of which running back we target.
Yeah, it's just tough. Like Judkins, so talented, but facing New England's very good run defense.
Run defense is good. Yeah.
And even last week, like Huheems and I talked about it, like Judkins looked amazing versus the Dolphins, but it took him 25 carries and he still didn't crack 90 yards. So, they're just stacking the box. And he had some big runs that got them to win. But if you take a couple of those away, he's a terrible day.
Yeah. So let's talk through the other running backs. Or, I mean, okay, I was going to say if Higgins fell all the way back, I would be into that, but he didn't. Let's talk through either running back or receivers. So
probably my favorite would be Rico Dowdle because, like you said, you can run against Buffalo. Rico, even last week, yes, it was a split workload, but he was better running and better receiving. And he was just breaking tackles. I just think you run a risk, but he's also going to be, I think, pretty low owned.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like the call then.
Like normally, if we didn't have a Dunze, I'd say Swift. Like Swift is an easy 6th-round running back.
Sure. But in this case, I say Dowdle. I like that call.
Yeah. I think Kamara, you can make a case with the Kendra Miller stuff. Even though it's tough.
Let's target the good matchup here and hope Dowdle gets the hot hand. I like that call. So Nix, JT, Dowdle, Sutton, Rome, and Ferguson. What was Huheim's team?
He went McCaffrey, Henry, Tyler Warren, Devonta Smith, Michael Pittman, and Danny Dimes.
I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Did you want to head over to the Thursday night streets?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So and Mike Robb says Neil's a great guy, but he went after the king. Absolutely love it. Mike, Huheim says, I haven't selected Judkins yet, and I'm 35 drafts and not sure I will. Yeah, that matchup is tough. I don't see myself getting there either. Let me bring up FanDuel. I'm not sure if I'm logged in. Been setting up new computer, which has been helpful because the other one was trash. Okay, let me share the screen. And let's talk through the Thursday night matchup here. Vikings at Chargers. Vikings are dogs, obviously, or Chargers are favored by 3, total 44.5. Steve, how do you see this game going?
Yeah, one more start for Carson Wentz. That's actually probably a good thing for the Vikings. Definitely a good thing for guys like Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. They are getting Aaron Jones back, but I still expect Mason to probably be the lead back and get more carries and goal line work. So I think Mason, we can talk about like Mason for like a touchdown. I think still a good prop, but Chargers side, I think we saw who they were last week with the emergence of Gadsden. Let's just put on Justin Herbert's back, and it sounds like Joe Alt is going to play. I haven't seen any latest update, but it sounds like he's going to give it a real go. They have just a tremendous receiver group of, QJ, Ladd, and Keenan Allen, plus now Gadsden. Just let Herbert cook every game. Like, let him throw 40 times. I don't care. I don't care the matchup. I don't care the game script. It worked week 1 against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think it can work against the Vikings, who just were absolutely shredded by the Eagles a week ago, and honestly have not looked like the defense we thought they were going to be. So I think the Chargers win. They're at home, short week. And, it sounds like they're getting their key guy, Joe Alt, back. So I think that's big for them and Herbert in specific.
Yeah, shout out to, again, Rich Rebar. I talk about all the time, Sharp Football Analysis, his worksheet. I actually tweeted it the other day, or quote retweeted, because it's just such an amazing resource. But something like when Joe Alt is in versus out, Herbert's like yards per attempt go up by like 5 yards or something crazy, something like, I don't know the exact number, but it is like bananas how much impact Joe Alt has on the passing game. And again, we saw what Herbert had to do in a very negative game script, but even in a likely positive game script here, I'm with you. I like Chargers to win. I don't know that I have a strong lean on the total, but these Thursday night games, I wouldn't be shocked if this one, maybe not under this line, but again, I don't mind like alt unders or something like that. If you'd want to do something anti-correlated, I think these Thursday night games are tough, though. We've seen a lot of fireworks on Thursday night too. So, including last week, the Dunk Bowl was awesome. But no, I lean Chargers with you. I think Joe Alt, hopefully back, will be an amazing addition to the Chargers offense. Just like you said, just be super high pass rate over expectation. The other stat in Rich Rebar's article was like something like over 70% of Chargers total yards come from the passing game. It's like 5th in the league. That's just huge. Just like put it in the hand or on the arm of your best player. And I want to see Herbert keep cooking. Don't mind attacking some of his props. Obviously, to go high if you're trying to get like plus odds. But I did and I threw it in Discord. I had done like a 250 and 2 touchdowns to get plus odds. And then I kind of laddered it up, like split it up. So you're kind of laddering up that if you want to then do like 275 and 3 or something like that. I think that's kind of fun. And I hope it is a big offensive game leaning into, because their running game is so thin too. It's down, it's just Vidal now with Haskins out. Yeah. So I think that all is interesting, like Herbert's props. Again, 250 is minus 136. But if you put it together, I'll just show what I was talking about, what I put in Discord. If you put it together with his passing touchdowns, then you get plus 119. So, and again, you could ladder it up if you want, then 275 and 3 or something like that. But I like this approach of plus odds for Herbert specifically. What other props do you like here, Steve?
Yeah, I think with Herbert, it comes to picking a couple of his weapons. They probably don't all get there, but 2 or 3 will. And for me, I think we've started to see they really like this Rondé Gadsden Jr. He's really stepped up. I think they keep going with him, keep targeting him. And he's a dynamic playmaker.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the
Colts talked about it during big board season, and it would be interesting to see where he landed. Yeah.
Yeah, and just because he had such a bad landing spot, from a 5th round pick, and just stayed a couple veterans in there, it was just like I kind of stayed away. But yeah, I wish I had done more because he's a fun guy, and just didn't get the draft buzz. But yeah, he's very
well. We said with the landing spot, great landing spot with Herbert, but just like a lot of mouths to feed and crowded tight end room. But so I drafted him some, and I drafted him some big board season because you were on him. But boy, it's like exceeded by week 8. It's exceeded our expectations, and that'll be fun to watch. But I'm with you, Gadsden 50 yards. Like even the likely not going to have the passing attempts for Herbert, even if they are a high pass rate over expectation last week in that negative game script. But even if it's just like his average, I still think Gadsden should get a nice chunk of that pie, 50 yards. I like the Gadsden 50. What else are you potentially targeting in this game?
I'll go over to the Viking side. As much as I love Justin Jefferson, I think Jordan Addison is even more intriguing here. One, gets the secondary coverage on the team, and Wentz has shown he has no problem throwing to him. And hopefully he didn't go out in LA like he did in London and is suspended for the first quarter or anything like that. But dude's really good, and he is just number two because he's behind arguably the best receiver in the league. So
Yeah.
And the other thing with the 60 yards is he gets chunk plays, so he could get it on 2 or 3, he could get it on 7. Like he's just able to do it in different ways, which is nice.
Yeah, no, agreed. I think that's one, honestly, you could ladder up if you wanted to, but like 60 yards plus 114. Again, check out our official bets and parlays, link in the description for our Substack, and then link to our Discord if you are interested. Gadsden 50, Addison 60, definitely like Herbert. Don't mind if you wanted to approach Keenan Allen or McConkey. Again, we're just betting on a high pass rate ever expectation type game. All right. So for touchdowns, everybody's plus money here because it's not like some sort of like bell cow running back situation, especially now for Mason. Aaron Jones likely back. Kamani Vidal is the bell cow, but so he's plus 120. Justin Jefferson plus 155. Mason 165. QJ 170. Keenan 170. Ladd 170. Gadsden 195. Hawkinson 220. Addison 220. Aaron Jones 280. Herbert 550, who I've actually seen some people on Twitter shout that out. I don't think that's crazy, especially given that Kamani Vidal is your really only running back. So what do you like with everybody being plus odds? I do think it's fun if you wanted to take a couple shots on touchdowns.
Yeah. I think for me, Keenan Allen is the number one. He going back to their last stint together, he's just Herbert's guy in the red zone. Herbert trusts him. He's gotten multiple red zone targets, I think just about every game. And hasn't always gotten there, obviously, but he's gotten there numerous times. And I think this is going to be another one. So Keenan Allen's my favorite, but I really like a lot of these guys. I think we're going to have, I agree with who Humes said. I like the over. I think
who Humes likes the over. Yeah. I wanted to shout that out. And Aaron Jones is back. I knew that was looking that way. And Jones is back.
Speaking of that, I don't mind Mason because while Jones is back, Mason should get the goal line work.
No, that's a good call. That's a really good call, especially with plus 165.
And I was just gonna say his odds probably took a hit with Jones being back. Like had Jones been out, I bet his odds would be much less.
Right.
And so you're getting a little juice for a guy who, Jones back, but it's a short week. They might give him a very limited amount this week.
I like that look. Like I like the Mason 165. I like the Keenan 170. I just think a lot of these are, obviously Justin Jefferson at plus 155, you're getting all the way to 220 for Jordan Addison. I love that too. Obviously massive big play potential. I think it's fun if you wanted to approach it, whether you're putting a unit on it or you're putting together a parlay. There's a lot of fun ways to look. Those are some of my favorite too. Anything else on anytime touchdown? Then pick any first touchdown, I guess, since there's not any like plus 300 or something like that.
Wow. If I had to choose a first touchdown, I don't mind going to just because the odds are better, like a Hawkinson. Or Jordan Addison, just because the big.
I was going to say I would probably go Addison for fun, just like hoping for like a big splash play or something. I would probably do Addison, but Addison or Hawkinson at 12-1 is fun. And then probably my hope and wish is it's like a Keenan Allen for the best ball bags at 9-1. Any crazy long shot that you're like, that's worth a little sprinkle. What about like a Trey Harris 50-1?
Trey Harris would be fun. He gets out there even last week. He gets out there enough routes, and they have had some deep shot routes designed for him. But probably less likely to be the first first one.
Yeah. So yeah, that's fine. And then, Huim said, do a little Aaron, you could do a little Aaron Jones, welcome back. You get a little 15-1 there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's, fun way to approach it. Again, we did a lotto. Check out our Substack or Discord link in the description. This has been fun. We covered DFS lineup building. We did one primetime, Palooza, but we covered Underdog Dailies, did some battle royales. Like, love seeing the streets over there. And then, of course, Thursday Night Football, covered props, touchdowns. I guess we could mention the parlay that we put in lotto wise was Justin Herbert 3 touchdowns. I believe is Keenan and Addison 70 and Gadsden 50. Right? Did I have that right? I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was our touch. And then FanDuel had like 100% boost. So I put that in for enemy to so our fun $5 lotto ended up being like 75-1. So again, link in the description for Substack, and then links into our Discord. Check that out. Send another parlay as well, and our favorite bet on the night. But this has been fun. Steve, any final thoughts for the people as we head into week 8 beginning tonight, Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, no, good luck. Good luck tonight, the start of this. Again, this is I think for, best ball. It's very interesting with all the buys and definitely all the quarterbacks being out. So, if you're really behind and you have a team that doesn't have many issues this week, then you could really catch up. So this is a week to watch. And if you're ahead, hopefully you can stay ahead.
Yeah.
So good luck to everyone, and we will, check in on Monday. I know we have the prop show tomorrow, but we'll check in on Monday with how things are and our, best ball and everything like that.
Yeah, no, we'll do another bag check Monday for the Degen Power Hour Monday at 5. Check out Prop Party tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. Prop Party tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Of course, Degen Dads tomorrow night. So 2 shows tomorrow covering more NFL betting. But good luck tonight, whether you're in the dailies, DFS, bets. Have fun. Good luck tonight. For Steve, I'm Meg, and we will see you next time.